Hello, my name is Grace Kim, and I am the Equine Extension Assistant, and welcome to tonight's Equine Webinar Series with UNL Rodeo Coach Marshall Peterson. Tonight's topic, he'll kind of discuss about the UNL Rodeo team, and if you guys have any questions at the end, I'm sure he would be more than willing to answer. But just to get us started tonight, Marshall, you are welcome to take over for tonight's webinar.
Perfect. Thanks a bunch, Grace. I appreciate it. Glad to be here. I'm very blessed to be in this opportunity as a rodeo coach. And it's been a fun ride in the last year and a half so far. And really today, I just wanted to tell everybody about the rodeo coach position, what college rodeo is, what we do, how we do it, and what we can all do to support the program. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask about how to get involved and what we kind of do. So I'm going to share my screen. My PowerPoint, I put a little PowerPoint together just to give everybody a little more insight. Like I said, my name is Marshall Peterson, the rodeo coach. The University of Nebraska made this a full-time position this year. Oops, sorry about that. Or this last year, and we have been doing more to shift our program from not just a registered student organization, but to a actual club within the animal science department. So that's been a fun transition. That way our students can operate as animal science teaching students rather than just a club student. So a little bit about me. I went to South Dakota State University, where I got my undergraduate degree in mathematics, and I got a minor in statistics and economics. While I was there, I competed in college rodeo and qualified for the college finals twice, and ended up being the region champion tied on roper twice. During my time, I was also the president of our college rodeo program. After a 1 year off, I attended Hastings College and got my master's of teaching in mathematics, and also got to compete in rodeo while I was there, as college rodeo allows for you to have an extra year of eligibility when you get to go into graduate school. So that was awesome. There I was a reserve all-around cowboy and got to go to the college finals again. Some of my leadership experience, like I said, as a president of the rodeo team. While at my time, I was an assistant rodeo coach for the Hastings College rodeo team. I worked in fundraising as my job before I took this job. And then I still compete in rodeos today and team ropings, to where I'm gone almost every weekend if I can afford it. And if there's something to do, we're gone every weekend. So it's really fun to be able to participate in the same thing that I'm helping kids do on a daily basis. So that's just something about me. Really, like I said, I wanted to tell everybody what college rodeo is, what it's all about, why it exists. The University of Nebraska is in the Great Plains region, which consists of the schools that are listed right there: Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. We travel through rodeos throughout this region. There are 10 rodeos in the college rodeo season, just 10. So that's all the students can score points at. We have 15 schools in our region. And so we have a rodeo in River Falls, Wisconsin. In the fall, we have a rodeo in North Platte, Nebraska, Fort Dodge, Iowa, Ames, Iowa, Fargo, North Dakota. Those were the fall ones. Then we go to Brookings, South Dakota. We go to Spearfish, South Dakota. We host our own rodeo here in Lincoln. I'll talk about that later. And then we go to Dickinson, North Dakota. So we go a lot of places. And like I said, the students go there to compete, to earn points, to make to the college national finals, which is the ultimate goal of being in college rodeo, to where you can, it's held in Casper, Wyoming every year. And it's a phenomenal event that brings together students from all over the nation that qualify there. The way that you qualify is if you get in the top 3 of your region after those 10 rodeos. So that's what the kids are vying for. The really cool part where College Rodeo really separates itself is where they can have teams, and that's where the schools come into play. Students, there's 6 men are picked for the men's team, 4 women are picked for the women's teams, and then they go and compete in the rodeos. And then if they're on the points team, they get points to the college for their school. If the school ends up in the top 2, they get to be able to go on to the college national finals as a team. And then the other way you can qualify for the college national finals is if you are in the top 2 on the all-around cowboy, meaning you score points in 2 or more events. So there's a lot of different ways to make the college finals. And like I said, this is the main goal for those teams. And like I said, the rodeo team members, 6 men, that's because there's 6 men's events, and then 4 women, that's because there's 4 women's events. And the events include bareback riding, saddle bronc riding, and bull riding, steer wrestling, calf roping, and team roping. Team roping is a men's and women's event combined. You can rope with anybody you want. Can be 2 guys on a team, 2 girls on a team, or a boy and a girl on a team. And then for the women's event, only events is breakaway roping, goat tying, and barrel racing. So, and like I said, the cool part is we can travel with as many students as we want, but each time we go to the rodeo, the coach picks the 6 students he wants on the team. It's one of the tougher parts about the job is you have to be able to correctly get who's going to earn points at your rodeos. But it's a challenge, but also a lot of fun. And so that's really what College Rodeo is. We have a team truck and trailer that we take to each of the rodeos that the students can haul their horses in. And this is, like I said, the team aspect becomes a big part of College Rodeo. Although at the end of the day, rodeo is a very individualized sport. So that's what separates College Rodeo from being rodeo, where it's an individualized sport, but you can be on a team. And a little bit more about our rodeo program. When I started here a year and a half ago, I wanted to provide structure for our program. It always has been a student organization, so it hasn't had a lot of year over year structure where kind of every couple of years people were doing something different. So I came in, I founded the pillars of our rodeo team: leadership, attitude, respect, and communication, given stuff to base our actions on. We did a little rebranding. As you can see, the road logos on the side. We put together a structured practice schedule, and like I said, they hired a full-time coach. We also are gathering additional practice equipment, trying to get everything going to where we can offer the most competition and the most practice for our students at all time. And like I said, we are committed to helping out our program, our school, just as much as our program. We get involved with Kasner. Like I said, we're becoming an animal science departmental team to where we can be a part of animal science, to where we're looked at as the same as the judging team and the livestock team, because that will give us a lot more ways to operate. We always practice inclusive excellence within our RSO. We want everybody, no matter your demographic, no matter where you come from, no matter your experience, we want you on the program because we know that we can provide some value for you, whether it's teaching you about rodeo, whether it's teaching you about life, whether it's introducing you to horses, or just making you a better rodeo contestant. So we want to engage the entire university system. We have students that are in engineering, we have students that are in nursing, we have students that are in animal science, we have students that are in ag business. Rodeo is not limited to just one major. So like I said, we try to get involved on all levels of the university because, like I said, at the end of the day, we are trying to provide value for our students because we value the school and our experience first, and then rodeo second. Because that's why it's called College Rodeo. So some of the opportunities students have when they're a part of our program, not just rodeoing. What else can they do? This is what I really enjoy telling people about, because it's not just you don't just come and participate in practice and go to rodeos. What else can we do? So networking with Western minded people. A lot of our students don't actually just rodeo. They like to come to meetings and help at practice and put on events. I've taught numerous kids to rope already. So that's a fun experience where kids can come and learn to rope or learn to do whatever they like. We are trying to get better and better at producing events. We like some of the events you can see there. We have Welcome Back Barbecue. Our Dodgeball in the Dirt event was a very, very fun time the first time we put it on. We hosted a barrel race last year, which we're hoping to host in the spring. I am looking to host a Nebraska College Rodeo youth rodeo. It's a pretty good typo, but I want to put on a youth rodeo for our youth to come and use as a recruiting tool, but also just a community event. And then our big event, the Nebraska Cornhusker College Rodeo. And below you see some of the leadership opportunities that students can have if they come hang out in our program. We have all those different chairs, which their main focus is putting on the rodeo. And then, like I said, the other focuses are putting on various events like the dodgeball tournament, like our barrel race and stuff like that. Like I said, we are a registered student organization. I just wanted to put in some pictures of the students. These are all from last year before everything got shut down. The middle picture you see there is at a club fair, which is a huge recruiting tool for us, to where students can look at other registered student organizations and see which ones they want to be in. This is where we find a lot of value, where we can really connect with the community, because people see a guy wearing a cowboy hat or a girl swinging a rope, they're going to go want to find out what that is. And then the below picture is the one we had at our barrel race this last year, students selling apparel. We gave away great prizes, and we feel like putting on these community events will just benefit our program in the long run. Like I said, I'd talk about our hosting our rodeo. Each spring, we host a college rodeo for the Great Plains College region, is what I kind of talked about earlier. It is a big, big deal for our program. It's the main revenue generating event for us. It's the event that we put the most time into. It's our largest fundraiser, and students lead the charge in hosting this. The interesting part when I started on is finding the balance between taking over and trying to do stuff, but letting the students also do it. And that's been a lot of fun for me, because it's a lot of give and take, and finding out what students want to do, how they want to shape the rodeo, but also making sure everything gets done. We take bids from producers around the area. We try to stay in Nebraska because we want to stay homegrown and from Nebraska. So if there's producers from Nebraska, we like Nebraska products. We get an announcer for it. We get timers. We get a clown act. We get, in the past, we've done a video board. So we're just trying to add an experience at the rodeo that can give people a lasting impression, not just for rodeo, but for the college and for our college rodeo team. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great experience learning how to put on a rodeo myself, and then trying to get the kids that have to work together to put it on. We sadly didn't get to host our rodeo last year, but hopefully this coming up year we can host it. We're working hard to see if we can host it this year. So April 23rd and 24th, block it on your calendars if we get to have it. So the main way we can actually profit from a rodeo is getting sponsorships for it. The goal is to raise as much as the rodeo will cost. That way the ticket value for the ticket revenue is all profit for the club. So if we can sell a lot of tickets and raise as much money as we spend, we have a chance to make money. That money gets used for practice and scholarships in going into the next year. One of the things that we've been focused on, and why I wanted to tell you guys about it, is because I need all the help I can get, as partnerships. How we create partnerships throughout our program, not just sponsorships, but partnerships that last years on years. The Kimmel Foundation has been a strong and the main partner from the rodeo program well before my time, and they continue to help us out in many of ways. We partner with the Lancaster Event Center. We practice inside there. We are going to help them host the National High School Finals Rodeo in the summer. We put on events there. That's where we held our bell race. So it's a lot of give and take with each of our with them in our program. The Smarty Roping Company, we're going to help them at the high school finals. They gave us a Smarty Roping dummy. They sponsored our rodeo. We're going to share the word on their great roping dummies. One of our main partners, Kasner, the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, and the Animal Science program. They work with us. Kasner gives us a stipend every year to operate as a program. And Animal Science has been a key contributor and help us taking care of livestock. They house our livestock for practices, and they do a lot of good for us. The Nebraska High School Rodeo Association, partnering with them is key for the success of our program. Too many students don't come to the University of Nebraska to rodeo. They like to go to Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, Texas, Oklahoma. I want them to stay in Nebraska if they're from Nebraska. So creating that partnership is going to hopefully help us keep students in Nebraska. And like I said, I need everybody's help to create more partnerships as we go, because the more partners we have, the more our program can do for them, just like they're helping us out too. Some of the goals of our program, we're a very goal-oriented program. One of the things, as I say, is rodeo is 90% mental and 10% everything else. So I believe that starts with a lot of goal setting. If I could pass anything on to anybody in this lecture or seminar, is set some goals, no matter what it is. If it's horse related, equine, I mean, it might be equine related if you're on here. Set some goals with your horses. What do you want to do? Do you want to have more, or do you want to win events? Do you want to just have fun? But it all starts with making goals. Our biggest program goal is we want to win Rodeo of the Year. Out of our region, there's those, like I said, 10 college rodeos. We get the chance to win College Rodeo of the Year if we're voted on by the students. And then we can actually go on to win National Rodeo of the Year. And they are about 13 regions. Each rodeo has a Rodeo of the Year. They vote on them there. So that would be the big goal, is win National Rodeo of the Year, but we'll start with Regional Rodeo of the Year. We want to turn our profit on our rodeo annually so we can use that money to practice in the next year. That's how we're going to stay afloat, stay most relevant within our program and our region. And I want to receive a Student Impact Award for having an impact on our community. I want our club to be the most inclusive club, the most fun club, the most outgoing club, the most active club, because that means we're not just successful in the arena, but we're successful in the classroom and we're successful in life. Our team goals, I want to win a regional title for the men's and women's team. And I want to win a national title. Why not? Got to make big goals so you can achieve them. I want to qualify one or more students to the CNFR every year. Like I told the students this last week, I said, I really enjoyed going to the college finals when I got to go. I think it'll be more fun as a coach, so help me get there. So I really hope the students can, I can put the students in the position to help them by giving them proper practice and getting into the rodeos and everything. And like I said, we value school, so I want to average a 3.25 GPA. Recruiting goals, which I think are huge. I always like to share these goals because I don't want our program just to be a small little group of 10 kids every year. I want it to be, like I said, a big inclusive group. So I want 40 or more traveling team members, because the more kids we have on the road, the more notoriety Kasner gets, the more notoriety Animal Science gets and the University of Nebraska gets, and the more people we can impact. I want to gain to 3 to 5 incoming freshmen and 3 to 5 transfer students, because a lot of rodeo kids go to 2-year schools and then end up transferring to a 4-year school. I just got off the phone with one of the students that I'm trying to get to come to our school from a junior college. So if you know any junior college students that are looking to rodeo, send them my way. Kind of the same note as the last slide. Like I said, I want to have the rodeo program be strong. I build the program itself, the club, essentially, to be twice as big as the rodeo team. So for every kid on the traveling team, I want there to be 2 kids on the program. I want to get the Nebraska High School Rodeo to the University of Nebraska. Kind of already mentioned that, transfer students. And then practices. Like I mentioned earlier, we have structured practices. We practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We essentially practice from 3 to 7 p.m. We rope live cattle from 4 to 6 p.m. We switch off from calves and steers every other day. And we lease those practice cattle and then compete and then use them for the facility. And like I said, we use the Lancaster Event Center for indoor practices, and we have an awesome opportunity on the campus of the University of Nebraska to practice on our campus. So it's really fun to be able to do that, where students can hang out on campus and rodeo. So they don't get to keep their horses on campus. We're working towards that. We're working towards getting a facility built for them to keep their horses on campus. But until now, they keep their horses around town and then haul their horses to practice each day. This is a little more about recruiting and the opportunities that we have for scholarships. One, we're in Kasner and animal science. So that's really the foundation that we build our program on. Is we build it from our program to animal science to Kasner to the university. So that helps with us getting more students in. Those are the kind of when people ask me what scholarships can you get for rodeo, I say I have a limited amount of scholarships for our rodeo program. What does your actual major offer you? What does the college that you're in offer you? And then what does the university offer you? So like I said at the bottom, we have a Kimmel Foundation scholarship we give every year. We give a couple of those. We have a Holst Family Scholarship that goes to a club member, not a rodeo member. So those 2 scholarships go out every year to students that are heavily involved in the club but don't actually rodeo. So I always tell students it's definitely beneficial. If you want to get involved in our club and you can earn a scholarship. And we have student jobs also, to where I have a student that we hire that comes and feeds our animals for us. That's awesome. Awesome opportunity to have a part-time job to feed rodeo animals. This is this is a fun one for me. This is why I'm doing this right now. Is Grace has been awesome to work with, trying to get me involved in extension as much as possible. And I've said this is one of my things that I want to do the most in this program, because growing up, I was in 4-H, but I didn't like 4-H because it was boring. But I wanted a rodeo, but I needed to learn about horses. So my parents did a great job of keeping me involved in 4-H, but I want to get those kids who want to do both, who want to know more about horses, but want to rodeo, and find a way to good way to intertwine that. We're working with the equine faculty to aid our current programs that are going on. And I want to help 4-H programs throughout the state learn more about rodeo. Whether that's putting on a clinic, hosting this equine webinar, putting out videos for everybody to see, whatever it is. That's why I'm here, getting more insight from you guys to see how I can help and provide more information about our rodeo program and why having the rodeo program in the University of Nebraska can be a very beneficial thing. Like I said, work closely with chapter leaders to add value to extension programs, whether it's roping competition, a roping clinic, whether it's a horsemanship class or anything like that. Horsemanship and speed events, because that is a thing. It's not just a slow going around the circle class. It's also something that we practice every day when we get on horses. Also, I think this will do great for us in recruiting. If we can get more kids learning about rodeo, the smaller, get them interested, pique their interest. Maybe they don't want to ride horses. Maybe they want to ride bucking horses. How can we get them an avenue to do that? building a relationship with the rodeo coach at the University of Nebraska is one great way to be able to do that. And like I said earlier, our events at Extension will actually help recruiting for Kasner, for animal science and the rodeo program. So like I said, it's all one big ecosystem, and I want to be able to do things like this to add value to everyone around the rodeo program. Some of the things I want to do: host a roping clinic and 4-H clinics for 4-H groups, fall clinics, summer clinics, traveling with students. If it's just me traveling 2 hours to sit down with a group of students on Tuesday night to help them learn more about rodeo and how they can get involved at any level, that'd be fine by me. I want to bring in 4-H chapters to help us with stuff, whether it's putting on a clinic or helping us put on the rodeo. You know, if we have a 4-H chapter that wants to help come take tickets at a rodeo, that would take some work off our backs, and that'd be great for us. Events, we want to put on events to engage students, but not just engage them, but teach them, you know, what is it about rodeo that inspires people, that drives people, that gets people excited. I want to host roping competitions at local 4-H or like maybe more county fairs to prepare for something that we call the state 4-H roping competition. We're looking to host that actually in Lincoln this upcoming fall instead of in the spring or instead of in the summer. Me and Grace will keep you updated when we get that going. The young Husker roping, I want more kids involved in roping. And a part of that, I want to partner with the AQHA and their youth program, the youth program we have with extension that we have going. Once we get back to normal, we'll have plenty of stuff for kids to do. And then at the end, if they're really serious about competing and going to the next level, we can get them involved in the high school rodeo competitions. One of the things I always like to tell people about, kind of my vision for the future of helping the faculty teach more classes, rodeo related classes. I want to coexist with some current classes. I'm going to help Brian Riling on it's an animal science, learn a little bit about everything class. I'm going to teach him about roping, teaching him about college, or about rodeos, where you can go to rodeos, kind of how to put on a rodeo. You know, if you have a loose cow in the pasture, how do you get it roped? What's the best way to do it? And then I want to introduce some new classes to the animal science program, whether it's an intro to rodeo, a breaking and training class. I want to teach students how to produce events. Grace has been absolutely awesome to work with because she's always trying to put on more events. We need more people like her. So if we can teach people how to put on events that are rodeo related, that are safe, that are fun, that get people involved, I think that'll go a long way. And then if Roping 101 can be a class, I'd love to teach it. And hopefully you can see by this, I'm very passionate about this. I love my job. It's a fun job. It's a lot of work, but I just value education, relationships, and the Western heritage. That's the things that I value. I value my education very highly. It taught me a lot. And the relationships that I built during my education and during my life benefit me every day. And I wanted, in the Western heritage, being able to rodeo my entire life from junior high all the way up to now, to continuing to do it now, it's just brought me a lot of joy and a lot of fun. And providing these things to, one, you guys on this webinar, and then two, my rodeo students, is just something that I want to do and continue to do. So if you have any ideas on how to help me, I'm all for it. I'm an open book. I need as much help as I can get because this is, I always tell the students, this is a changing job every day. We do something new every day. So if you got anything you want to see happen, or you think got a good idea, the dodgeball tournament was just, we were sitting around one day and I said, what do you guys want to do? And Jack goes, I want to put on a dodgeball tournament. I said, put it on, let's do it. So here we are. So does anybody have any questions? I am going, I will put my email in the chat if I can figure out how to do that.